Hey dude, I figured I'd do a little video for you to do some yoga for your back. So let's just start with cat-cows. Right, I don't know if you can see me. The house is a mess. The kids are at the pool. So I might have 30 seconds, I might have 15 minutes. So when you do cat-cows, they talk about the connection points in the floor. So you have to spread out your hands as much as you can, and you're going to put all the pressure in the thumb and the forefinger in the paddings behind each finger. Shoulder distance apart, wrist underneath shoulders, and then your knees underneath your hips. So on an inhale, well, first we're going to hover our knees to draw in our belly. That's our tightening up our core. And you're looking for a long line of energy. So the tailbone is pressing back and the crown of the head is pressing forward. If you were to go into a high plank, your knees really wouldn't move. And so the long line of energy is from your head through your body, pressing through your heels. There's a difference when you're leaning forward. You want to press back. And so you're having all of that same engagement through the core. So on an inhale, after you've found your core alignment, that's even pulling up your pelvic floor, that space between your space between your anus and your scrotum. So you're pulling all that in through the crown of your head. Inhale, drops the belly, lifts the tailbone, the eyes of the elbows roll forward as your heart opens, your shoulders come down your back, your neck is long, so you're not doing this, but you're finding the length through the neck all the way through the crown of the head. So that's all on an inhale. And then on an exhale, you're tucking the tailbone, rounding out the spine, chin comes to the chest, and the top of your head is pointing down. So at the top of your exhale, there's a pause before you begin to inhale, and at that pause, see if you can crunch in a little bit more. And inhale, passing through that active spine. Remember, core is engaged. Now eyes of the elbows roll forward, tailbone lifts up, belly drops, crown goes towards the ceiling, shoulders come down the back. Exhale, maybe passing through that neutral spine, core is engaged, tucking the tailbone, squeezing out the breath. There's a pause there, crunch it in. Inhale, coming through neutral spine, still pressing in that J shape of the hand. Tailbone lifts, eyes, the elbows roll out, looking up towards the ceiling. Maybe top of the inhale, you're able to find a little bit more roundedness in your back. So the goal is to move with the breath here. So do a few of those. You can do a seated forward fold, which is exactly what this looks like. I like to take away the fleshy bits from my glutes so that my sits bones are on the ground. They say that's cheating for a hamstring stretch, but do it if you want. You flex and point, just to move those joints. You're looking for length in the spine, just like you were when you were in the tabletop high plank, and then you're gonna walk your fingertips forward. So you're looking for hinging at the hips, right? Inhale looks for length through the spine, core engages. Exhale brings your chest closer to your knees. So you stay here, you pause, and the same long breath that you were taking in cat-cows, we do it here. There's this quote that says, between stimulus and response, there is a space. And in that space is our power to choose our response. And in our response lies our growth and our freedom. So those pauses are good opportunities. All right. After you feel like you've achieved all of that, do some supine twists. We're at 5 minutes. So long back on the ground, knees come parallel, your calves come parallel to the ground, right? Arms come out to a T, and you're gonna drop your knees to the left, your gaze is to the right. Maybe you're able to get your temple on the ground, maybe not. And so now you've got a twisted spine, right? You can take your left hand to your thigh and see if you can open it up a little bit more, but I don't encourage you having someone help push it down. You're gonna rely on your body's ability to do what's natural for it without force. Another thing that you can do if you feel like you're just not getting enough from that, you can cross your legs over each other, and whichever knee is on top, you're gonna fall that way. And if you want, you can just play with where your knees go. Maybe it reaches a different spot if your knees come higher or lower. And then just breathe into those spaces of tension. Big, big, deep breaths. And then bridge pose. You want your heels to your glutes. And maybe you can get your hands underneath your body, but if not, like clasping hands, palms touching. If you can't do that, just keep your hands by your heels. They don't have to touch. You're just looking for a little bit more of a foundation for leverage. And on an inhale, really press your feet into the floor first, looking for length in your spine. When you're in this position, you don't want to turn your neck. You just want to keep looking straight up. So listen to my voice. On an inhale, you're going to lift your tailbone, pressing through the thighs, maybe activating the glutes, maybe your core engages. And you're just gonna lift it as much as you can. Maybe moving into the heart to find a little bit more of an openness. So this essentially is like a baby wheel. This is the first step to getting into the wheel. Exhale, rolling down. See if you can feel one vertebrae at a time making contact with the floor. Even that small of your back. See if you can get that space. So that's just a mindfulness practice to keep you in the present moment. And inhale, lifting again. So, bridge. Cat-cows, forward folds, twist, bridge. I think those are the 4 that I gave you. Yeah, cool. Love you. Bye.